And then here's the big one that shocked me, okay? This is no offense to anybody, but this really shocked me, okay? So when it comes to doing laundry in the UK, it's completely different than in the US. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Chats with Chenai. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the differences in living in the US versus the UK. So of course, this is based off my own personal experience. I have lived in the US most of my life. And then of course, I've only been in the UK a little over 6 months. And I've visited a few times. So of course, my experience is not that much given obviously the lockdown and everything going on, but I'm just gonna share a few little differences that I've noticed. So, and if you guys have noticed any differences or if you disagree, just let me know in the comments. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the main thing, I think this is just pretty much common, everybody would agree, that you would notice between the US versus the UK is the size of everything. So I would say in the UK, everything is a lot smaller. So the houses, for example, are a lot smaller than the average house that you would find in the United States. The cars, they're a little bit more compact than you would find in the US. And then what else? The roads are also smaller. You know, in the US, maybe you're finding, depending on the state that you're in, the highway has like 6, 7 lanes and whatnot. It's likely not the case here. And then also, I would say food portion. Yes, food. It's not as much as you're getting. So if you go to a restaurant in the US, you're getting a ton of food for, a certain amount. Whereas here, it's a smaller portion. And of course, that may actually be healthier because some people may argue that the amount of food that we get in the US is a lot more than we need or more than the average person needs. So the UK does serve smaller portions. So for example, I guess with fast food, I can use McDonald's, for example. The large fry in the US is not the same as a large fry in the UK. The large fry in the US is a lot bigger. Well, not a lot bigger, but it's bigger than the one in the US. And then the large drink is definitely significantly bigger in the US than it is in the UK. So those are little stuff that I would say I've noticed. And the same goes for a lot of restaurants, honestly. Like the portion sizes you're getting are not the same. And of course, another difference regarding the food, of course, the portion size, as I've mentioned, is different, but also like just the type of food you find in the UK is going to be slightly different than you would find in the US. Like I would say in the UK, almost in every corner, you're going to find an Indian restaurant. You're gonna find, Indian restaurants. They're like every single corner. And of course, that's reflective of their, the people that they have in the country. Whereas in the US is a big country, so you can't really pinpoint. I would say, okay, I lived in Arizona, so specifically to the state of Arizona, what you would find on every corner was like a Mexican restaurant, with quesadillas, tacos, burritos, that type of thing. Whereas here, you're finding that type of thing. And what else? Caribbean food is really popular here. It's there in the US too, but I would say here it's a lot more popular and it's a lot cheaper. So where you're getting a plate in the US for like a standard dish for like $17, here is about £6 for the same amount. So if you're into Caribbean food, you like oxtail, plantain, rice and peas and everything, this is the place if you're trying to like get a cheaper price. So yeah, that's the difference that I've noticed. And oh yeah, with size, another little fun fact that I realized once I got here, the bed sizes are also different. So basically, so we ordered a king bed here, like, a king bed for us, me and my husband. The king size bed in the UK is smaller than a queen size bed in the US. So when we were buying it, at least I thought, I was like, okay, we're getting a king size bed. I had this vision in my mind of what a king size bed is. But then when I finally when we saw it, I was like, wait, how is this a king? Like it almost looked like a double bed, a US double bed. But then finally I looked online and it turns out in terms of measurements, what is considered a king size in the UK is technically slightly smaller than what is considered a queen size in the US. So it's like 2 beds smaller than, you know, a king size. So that was another little funny thing. It was really interesting to me because I was expecting a king, but that's what happened. Okay, what's another thing? Okay, another difference that I've noticed from the 2 countries. Well, this one is not really something to notice, it's just a factual difference. Here they have free healthcare. So they have what's called the NHS, which is National Healthcare System, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it stands for. So basically that's what takes care of their healthcare system, so they don't have to get private healthcare. Whereas in the US, of course, we all know that we don't have free healthcare, which has been a big debate going on throughout the years. Yeah, so that's the benefit of here. They do have free healthcare. Of course, with that, another difference, I would say the taxes are a lot higher in the UK versus they are in the US, which of course makes sense because part of those taxes are going to the healthcare system. So I would say, yeah, the taxes in the UK are significantly higher in terms of like the income bracket versus in the US. So yeah, that's another difference. And another difference between the UK and the US is that guns are illegal in the United Kingdom. Well, I don't know if it's the whole United Kingdom, but I do know that they're illegal in England. And of course, in the US, people have the right to bear arms. So that's just a fact. That's it. It's not based off personal observation. That's just a fact. And then here's the big one that shocked me, okay? This is no offense to anybody, but this really shocked me, okay? So when it comes to doing laundry in the UK, it's completely different than in the US. So of course, they have a washing machine just like in the US. We have washing machines. But how the washing machine works in the UK is different. It takes longer to wash clothes. It takes a lot longer. So we're in the US, you're looking at like for an average load to do washing and drying, maybe you're looking at 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Here you're looking at just washing your clothes in the washing machine. It's gonna take you maybe 4 hours. That's just standard washing, 3 to 4 hours. And then after that, they have a dryer, but it's not really a dryer. It doesn't work. You have to hang up your clothes, probably on the radiator or someplace. And you know, of course, drying, that's air drying. It may take a few hours, probably anywhere from 3 to 6, depending on what you're drying. So that was a huge shocker for me because, you know, let's say you're going somewhere, you're planning for a trip, you're thinking, okay, I'm just gonna wash this stuff real quick. Like it's just gonna take me like 2 hours before my flight. Let me just get this stuff in. That doesn't work here. You have to plan ahead if you're gonna do laundry because drying is a whole day thing. The dryer does not really dry your clothes. So that is a big difference. And I read articles about it. I thought I was just tripping. I thought it was just me, but I looked it up and the articles confirmed what I thought. So that is a big difference. You just have to get used to like how laundry is done here. It almost takes a whole day and whatnot. So, you know, that's a big difference for me. And then there's language. I know what you're thinking. Okay, the US and the UK, both their main languages the main language is English. Yes, it is. UK speaks English, US speaks English. But I will say the accents are so different. So a lot of times for me when I'm like talking to people here, like for example, let's say I go to the grocery store, it takes me so long to pick up on what they're saying. Like I don't understand straight off the bat. Even though they're speaking English, I don't know what they're saying half the time. And I think vice versa, because I'll start speaking and they just act really confused. Like they don't kind of know what I'm saying until I repeat myself. So I would say that's a big difference. Of course, there are different English accents, just like there are different American accents. So let's say when Queen Elizabeth is speaking, I can understand her very well because, you know, she talks how she talks. But at the same time, for people who talk more like, you know, there's just street talk, you know, a lot more slang and whatnot, which is the everyday talk for most people. I do not understand what they're saying. Like it takes me a while. I'm always like, huh? And then finally I'm like, okay, so you just said this.
And I was about 9 or 10, just I think a scout watching me for little boys and then I just got asked down to contain them. Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
And yeah, same for me. I feel like sometimes people just, you know, they think I talk really fast or however they think I talk. And then I have to repeat myself a lot. So I would say there's a little bit of a language barrier, if you will. Even though it's still English, the accents really make a difference in how you're understanding somebody. So a lot of times when I go to grocery stores, I just like to have my husband speak for me or do everything, because it takes too long for me to even understand what's going on in them, for them to understand me. And then on top of that, of course, they'll start asking questions like, oh, are you from America? Blah, 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 blah. And most of the times I'm just trying to get my groceries and go, you know, it's just time to go. So that's my experience when it comes to language. And then another big difference, but I don't know if I would say this is a big difference between the UK and the US, because the US is a very big country. So there's different weather types in different states. So if you're down south, it's a lot warmer. Up north is a bit colder. So it depends where exactly you are. But just speaking in general, the UK is very wet. It rains a lot in the United Kingdom. It's very cloudy. It's usually gloomy. What else? Yeah, a little chilly. It's not a warm place. So it's chilly, wet, and cloudy. So yeah, that's just my experience so far being in the UK. And again, my experience is a bit limited given that, you know, we've been on lockdown for most of it, but that is my experience. Main thing I would say that you just easily notice when you're here is the size of everything is a lot and significantly smaller. So it is an adjustment. And then in terms of the people, I would say they're just equally nice. People here are really nice. I haven't really had a negative experience, so I would say they're really great people. So anyway, for anybody who's visited the UK or visited the US, tell me what your experiences were and what differences you notice in the comments. All right, until next time, guys, let's chat later.